When studying jazz history, the scholarly narrative often foregrounds the trumpet, the saxophone, and the piano as the primary voices of the idiom. Yet an examination of archival recordings, performance practices, and early ensemble configurations reveals a far richer instrumental spectrum than is commonly acknowledged. And so today we're going to explore some of those sounds. I teach jazz history at a university. I'm the author of a book about early jazz and co-founder of a Center for Digital Jazz Scholarship. When we think about underrepresented instruments in jazz history, we often focus on voices, those of female musicians. But we can also consider sounds, those non-canonical instruments that haven't received adequate attention in jazz studies. To be sure, the trumpet, saxophone, and piano have been critical to the idiom's evolution. But the story of jazz is also one of extraordinary experimentation. From the vibraphone, which emerged in the 1920s, bringing a resonant metallic timbre that shaped the harmonic texture of swing orchestras, to the bass clarinet, whose extended range and sonorous depth allowed for experimental voicings in both big band and avant-garde settings, there is much to gain when we consider the contributions of underheard instruments. Let's start with the vibraphone. Often overshadowed by its piano, the vibes bring a unique sound to jazz. They have a lighter, airier quality, and their resonators give them a distinctive ring. The vibes entered the jazz vernacular in the late 1920s, and they quickly found a home in dance bands because of their ability to provide rhythmic drive and harmonic clarity. While initially viewed as a novelty instrument, the vibraphone soon proved its mettle, contributing to the lush, vibrant sound of big bands. Pioneers like Red Nichols integrated vibes into their ensembles, recognizing their potential for both comping and soloing. In the hands of masterful players like Chick Webb, the vibes became an integral part of the rhythmic section, propelling the ensemble forward with a syncopated pulse. The instrument's prominence grew even more in the bebop era with the likes of Milt Jackson, who brought his own ensemble, the Modern Jazz Quartet, to national attention with a series of hit records. This ensemble featured the unusual combination of vibes, bass, piano, and drums, and helped redefine jazz aesthetics for post-war audiences. Beyond bebop, vibes have remained a vital voice in jazz, shaping everything from cool jazz to Latin jazz fusion and beyond. Their light, airy sound continues to resonate with audiences, and the vibraphone stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of underrepresented instruments in jazz. Another underrepresented instrument is the bass clarinet. Its lower register expanded the sonic palette of jazz ensembles, adding a rich, warm tone that contrasted beautifully with the bright brass section. Early adopters like Benny Goodman recognized the potential of this relatively new instrument, integrating it into his groundbreaking 1938 Carnegie Hall concert. There, it blended seamlessly with the reeds, adding depth and color to the ensemble sound. In the bebop era, the bass clarinet found favor with musicians like Woody Herman, who featured it prominently in his orchestra. It was during this period that the instrument really came into its own, showcasing the talents of virtuosos like Serge Klock and his successor, Tony Scott. The flexibility of the bass clarinet allowed it to navigate both bluesy, soulful phrases and complex, rapid runs with ease. This versatility made it an ideal solo instrument, and its distinctive voice added a new dimension to small group jazz. In the realm of cool jazz, the bass clarinet contributed to the mellow, understated sound of the Lenny Tristano school. Its capacity for introspection and lyricism was particularly suited to the introspective modal explorations of this movement. Even in the free jazz movement of the 1960s, the bass clarinet found a place with players like Eric Dolphy, pushing the boundaries of improvisation and extended techniques. Across these diverse styles, the bass clarinet's journey through jazz mirrors the evolution of the music itself, adapting and innovating while retaining its core brilliance. The banjo has often been relegated to the background in jazz historiography, despite its central role in early New Orleans ensembles. Before the 1930s, the banjo provided the rhythmic propulsion of jazz, laying down the foundation with its driving four-string chords. Musicians like Jelly Roll Morton and King Oliver relied on the banjo's distinctive twang to anchor their ragtime and blues-based compositions. This instrument's prominence is evident in the earliest jazz recordings, where it frequently takes center stage, underscoring the importance of the banjo in establishing the genre's sonic identity. However, as the decade progressed, the guitar gradually displaced the banjo, offering greater versatility in terms of range and volume. This shift coincided with the rise of larger ensembles and the increasing popularity of danceable tunes. Despite its decreasing presence in mainstream jazz, the banjo continued to thrive in other genres, demonstrating its lasting impact on American music. In the 1930s, the banjo found a new home in bluegrass and folk music, showcasing its enduring appeal beyond the realm of jazz. Today, it remains an iconic symbol of American roots music, carrying with it the spirit of early jazz and reminding us of the genre's rich, diverse history. As we continue our exploration of underrepresented instruments in jazz, let's turn our attention to a somewhat unconventional and decidedly improvisational addition to the jazz toolkit: the washboard. Emerging from the creative crucible of early 20th century New Orleans, the washboard found its niche within jug bands, contributing a uniquely percussive element to this loose, informal ensemble format. Musicians like Lonnie Johnson and Jabbo Smith incorporated the washboard into their music, demonstrating its adaptability and potential for rhythmic innovation. As a makeshift percussion instrument, the washboard offered a cost-effective and readily available means of enhancing the sonic landscape of jug band performances. The basic layout of a washboard includes a metal frame with a taut wire stretched across it, providing a surface for striking and scraping with various implements such as mallets, sticks, or even coins. Players would hold the washboard close to their bodies and strike it in a manner akin to a snare drum, generating a surprisingly resonant and surprisingly varied sound. The washboard's improvisation-friendly nature allowed for spontaneous rhythms and sounds, perfectly complementing the freewheeling aesthetic of jug band jazz. In essence, the washboard embodied the spirit of making music with whatever resources were at hand, a hallmark of African American folk ingenuity and a key component of early jazz aesthetics. Another often overlooked instrument is the mellophone. This valve instrument bridged the timbral gap between brass and woodwind sections in jazz ensembles. Its mellow sound and ability to blend seamlessly with both brasses and reeds made it an attractive addition to jazz combos and big bands. During the swing era, the mellophone gained prominence, featuring in the arrangements of Duke Ellington and Count Basie, among others. Its warmth and flexibility allowed it to play both supportive roles and take soaring, lyrical solos. In the bebop era, the instrument found favor with groups like Woody Herman's First Chair, contributing to the lush, layered sound of their ensembles. Bebop arrangements showcase the mellophone's ability to provide harmonic depth, often doubling or harmonizing with other instruments. The mellophone's versatility extended beyond traditional jazz, finding a place in Latin jazz, funk, and even film scores. Its contribution to jazz has been significant, enriching the sonic palette of the music and demonstrating the adaptability of underrepresented instruments. In the realm of jazz orchestration, few instruments stand out as enigmatically as the Celesta. Emerging in the late 19th century, the Celesta possessed an ethereal sonority that lent itself beautifully to the expansive harmonies of jazz orchestration. Its sound, characterized by shimmering resonance and delicate sustain, offered a compelling contrast to the robust brass and punchy reeds commonly featured in jazz ensembles. Despite its relatively brief appearance in jazz history, the Celesta left an indelible mark on the music, contributing significantly to the evolution of jazz arranging. Pioneers like Duke Ellington were among the first to recognize the potential of the Celesta, incorporating it into his large ensembles to create a more colorful, nuanced sound. The Celesta's unique timbre allowed for subtle textural shifts, adding layers of complexity to Ellington's intricate compositions. Count Basie and Billy Strayhorn also experimented with the instrument, using it to enhance the harmonic richness of their signature big band sound. The Celesta's contribution to jazz arranging serves as a testament to the genre's ongoing dialogue with classical music traditions, demonstrating the willingness of jazz musicians to push the boundaries of instrumentation and orchestration. So, what do we gain by broadening our conception of jazz's sonic palette? By recontextualizing instruments like the vibes, bass clarinet, banjo, washboard, and celesta within a broader historical and cultural framework, we begin to see jazz not as a monolithic entity defined by a handful of canonical instruments, but as a dynamic interplay of diverse timbres, evolving technologies, and intercultural exchanges. This shift in perspective allows us to appreciate the contributions of underrepresented instruments and the musicians who championed them, filling in the gaps of traditional narratives. Moreover, recognizing the diversity of sounds that have shaped jazz encourages a more inclusive and representative approach to music education. By showcasing the contributions of underrepresented instruments and the musicians who championed them, we can celebrate the richness and complexity of jazz history and inspire a new generation of listeners and performers. So let's hear it for the underrepresented instruments of jazz, the unsung heroes that have enriched the music's tapestry and invite us to hear jazz anew. Thanks for joining me on this episode of our podcast. If you enjoyed this program, please be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, remember to keep the music playing.